All right, so we got some kids here. You're allowed to sniff. You're just not allowed to directly drink it. Okay. All right. Okay. So my name is Spencer Huang. I'm half Asian. I look Mexican. It's all good. My dad is Taiwanese. That's where the Huang came from. The Spencer's. It's more white. Okay, louder. Okay. Actually, use the mic. Got it. All right. Cool. So gotta focus on this. All right, so I opened a bar called R&D with two of my friends. So we make quite a loud. I am literally shouting. Okay, so we make quite a few of our own infusions. Everything we do is going to be made from fresh ingredients, and we really focus on flavors, which is what I'm going to be here talking to you guys about today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand around. I've created these packs. So basically, it's a pack of 10 different flavors, and what I want is everyone to kind of just huddle around other people. It's probably about one pack per 10 people, so anywhere between 5 to 10, you're in a good space. And then we got some paper towels. Now these paper towels, they don't make sense at first. Why would someone that's a bartender start handing out paper towels? We're actually going to do something today where you're going to sniff your cocktails. All right? So we're going to separate out the flavors. And the reason is because the flavor that you remember first and foremost is always your first sip. It's always your first bite, right? And that's what creates the memories and all of the experiences that we're going to be thinking of as flavor memories. And that's what's going to be put into your mind as a spatial map when you start thinking about all the flavors and how they become memorized. So everyone take 2 or 3 of these, and it's going to become in handy when we start using the spritzers. So let's see here. How do I want to do this? I can just start using 中文哦，对啊。对哦，中文 OK 好。大家好，我是黄胜斌，我是半个台湾人，半个美国人，没问题。我已经有开一个酒吧，然后今天我们要讨论就是味道，因为中文字有点奇怪，中文没有，他们没有办法就是分开味道跟 flavor and taste， 同时有点不一样，有一个是一个全部的经验，有一个就是一个特色 ，right？So 今天我们就是要给你们试试看很多的味道，然后有很多的过程，真的会吸到那个味道。So let's see here, I'll do this. So I have one here for you guys, one here for you guys. Let me know. Okay, I'm just gonna walk around and talk at the same time. So when we start thinking about flavors, everyone knows flavor and taste, right? We've all heard these words before. Flavor, taste. Okay, so we're gonna go right into that. So flavor and taste. One of them is an experience, and one of them is going to be something that we can actually start to.
Join groups of 10 here. Okay, one here. Those here at the back. Don't be afraid.
I'm going to leave these over here. Now, with this one only 2, we're going to go one for the left, one for the right. How's that? Okay. So as you notice, each pack is going to have 3 smaller packs. One of the packs is going to have a pipette, something you learn about when you're in elementary school, so you're just testing straws. The other 2, one of them is going to be a spritz, so this one is we're going to pun, okay, so you'll pun the dongqi. And then the other one is going to be a drip. Now the droppers, you want to be very careful when you try this. You can put it on your hand. I would highly suggest putting it, if you're to hold your hand flat like you're holding a microphone or a cup, you just put it right here between your thumb and your index finger. And it's going to be really nice. You only want 1 drop of each. All of these are very, very hyper concentrated flavors. Okay? Wait, who was I talking to that knew how to say, hey, wait, Mel, what is concentrated? 浓缩 ，OK， 所以现在我是给你们3个东西，第一个是实验器官，第二个是喷的，那个喷的东西是我们可以现在闻，今天要在那个卫生纸要喷出来，然后我们还有一个一滴很有浓缩的那个味道。All right, so the first thing is, what is the difference between flavor and taste, right? Well, ultimately, there's going to be a few components when we're working with these things. When you think about taste, right? How many people know how many tastes there are? If you can hold up your hand, right? We got 4 tastes, we have 3 tastes. How many tastes are there? Who knows? 2, no, 5, right? There's 5. So you have sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and the last one is called umami. This one was recently added. Okay, so they always say that taste has something to do with your tongue. And they like to give you this tongue map. And they say that sour can be tasted on the side, sweet can be tasted in the middle. These are actually proven wrong. So in the late 1970s, they decided that ultimately it's incorrect. And the reason is because they misinterpreted what each individual taste bud can do. So every taste bud can taste every flavor. It just happens that some taste buds can taste one flavor more than the other, right? So that's where you start saying, this sour really hurts me under the tongue, right? And at the same time, when we start thinking about flavor, sometimes you walk into your house and your mom is cooking apple pie and all of a sudden you say, wow, it smells so good, I can almost taste it, right? So taste seems to be a culmination of multiple experiences. And the first one is going to be the taste bud, right? And this is what we're going to call gustation. Gustation is something where it's in your mouth, it's on your taste bud, and we like to say it's a hand in a glove. So if you're using sweet, if you're using something that's sour, it's going to fit on top of your tongue, what we call the papillae, right? Your taste buds have these papillae, these little receptors that it's going to just take on the flavor, and it's going to say that's what that flavor is. Now there's only two flavors that are not going to be easily identified by these, and that's going to be salty and umami. Salty and umami both have to go through what we call ion channels, and it's because they have alkalines in them. So it's going to be a different chemical exposure. Okay, so now we've defined what taste is for the tongue, but that's only 20% of any flavor that you'll ever have, right? So 20%, so we're Chinese. Okay. 20%帕的那个吃的东西有味道，可是另外的80%真是闻出来的那个，真的闻出来的味道。And the reason is because you have two types of olfactory sensations. The first one is right here in the nose. Okay, so it's right here in the nose when you sniff something. So you walk in a room and you say, it smells like cheese in here, right? Or more than likely, you walk down the street and say, wow, 这里有臭豆腐的味道, right? But when you taste 臭豆腐, or you taste cheese, or you taste some of these types of foods, the flavors are totally different than how they smell. So the second part of taste comes from inside of the mouth, and it's what we call, it's going to be a mouth smell. So when you start breathing in what you're eating, that's what really fills in all the flavors. So almost imagine that your tongue gives it an outline, and all of the scents, right, all of the 气味, they all come together to create the picture. Right? So that's what flavor is. So today what we're going to do is we're going to separate the two. And we're going to do it with what my expertise is. So it's cocktails. Sorry, kids. We're going to start with the nose, all right? So we're going to build a cocktail. So I'd like everyone to take out the spritz bottles. And you're going to look for the numbers 1 and 4. I labeled them all with numbers. You guys can guess what the flavors are. Okay? Okay, so 1 and 4. Now what we're going to do is you're going to take your napkin and you're just going to spray 1 of number 4 and then number 1. Okay, so 1 spritz number 4, 1 spritz number 1. That's going to make sense in a minute. On top of each other. On top of each other. And I want you guys to sniff it, okay? Just one side, same spot. So just take a single spot, just spritz once with number 4, spritz once with number 1. So what's that smell? Who can tell me what that smell is? Chocolate. Chocolate? A little bit of what? Coconut. Okay. What else we got? You're both close. Lime. Alright, so the way it works is that right now you guys are sniffing something without any sight. You have absolutely no idea what's in it. I haven't given you any idea what the flavor is going to be, right? Okay, so now I want you to sniff it again. I want you to think strawberry and lime.
Okay, strawberry.
Strawberry. So spray number 4. If you don't get the strawberry, spray number 4. One more time. Number 4 is strawberry.
Margarita.
You're right. This is essentially a strawberry margarita. Alright? And this is just from the smell, okay? So a smell gives you guys this feeling of a memory, right? At first, you smell wine? It's from that part. Well, wait, maybe what, like 10 years and then last again? Sure. Okay. Right here.
旁边可以听到吗？这样好吗？
Okay, I do it like this, no problem. Alright. So everyone got strawberry and lime, right? When you guys start smelling those, you get the strawberries and limes. And maybe some fruit. At least the fruit, right? Okay, so the point of this is that when you first smell something, your brain is trying to figure out what is this smell?
这个味道是什么？
Right? It has to do with a memory. The way that you eat is almost always correlated with who you ate with, when you had it, where you were, what you were feeling. All of these memories culminate to create what we call a flavor, which is why it's so hard to distinguish what a flavor is when you just smell it. If you can't see it, you don't necessarily know what it is. And that's the trick to flavor, right? So this is why plating is so interesting and so important for food. This is why when you start making drinks, you have to make sure that you retain some clarity of color. You have to have something that resembles whatever it is you're putting in, right? All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move on. This one is gonna be a little bit, it's gonna be a little bit more intense, all right? And the reason is because you're gonna be dripping it onto your hand. So everyone open up, go ahead and open up your droppers. Keep number 1 and 4 from the spray out. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish this cocktail, okay? Okay, so first question, when you guys think of sweet, what's the first thing to come to mind? There should probably be one of 2 things.
Sugar.
Sugar, chocolate works. Chocolate's technically a bittering agent. Okay, so you have sugar and you've got honey, right? These are the 2 things that people in almost every culture are going to use as sugars, as sweetening agents. All right, so what I want you to do is just take the dropper number 1 and just take a little drop, just touch it to your skin, you know, just put a little drop on your skin. You don't need this much. And the reason is because what you're going to taste is something called stevia, and it's a leaf. Now stevia is almost 10 to 20 times more sweet than sugar is when you start thinking about it per volume. So instead of using an ounce of sugar, you could use milliliters of the stevia. So this is extremely sweet. Now flavor, this is going to illustrate the point of the 4 qualities of flavor. This is the difference between flavor and taste. Flavor has 4 things. First, you have the qualities of it. Is it sweet, sour, bitter, herbal, right? The second thing you're gonna have is going to be, okay, where is it located? Where do you feel that sweet? Is it on your tongue? Do you feel the burn in your throat? When you drink ginger tea, it's gonna be warm here, right? But when you eat spicy food, it's hot here. So location is important, right? Okay, then you have intensity. How intense is it? And the last thing is timing. How long does it last for? Okay? So how intense is it? How long does it last for? Where is it? And what is it? Right? These are the 4 qualities that every flavor has. So you guys try to, oh. Yeah, go ahead, lick it. Okay.
去研究一下。现在里面啊，是把那个可以是
Who knows the word for drop? 有。
第一是放一滴
right? Okay.
我们可以在这边的，在你的手上，你要放一滴的1号，1号是1种的椰子，那个椰子真的很甜的，是比汤的汤度差不多多10倍左右。
Right? It's going to be more than 10 times the sweetness of sugar. So now you can try number 2. All right? Now number 2 is what we call umami. This one is going to be much easier on your tongue than number 3. Number 2 is umami that comes from a tea. Right? So who's heard of umami? Someone raise their hand who's heard of umami. All right. If you were to just say the first thing that comes to your mind in umami, what would it be? Seaweed. Mushrooms, seaweed, mushrooms. Very earthy flavors, right? Umami is one of those things that tells the difference between cooked and raw meat. Okay. Umami, 那个地。Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, they're all. Honestly, if you're not drinking an ounce of it, you're okay. Okay, so鲜味，鲜味其实蛮特别的。咸味，他们说是空湖，是那个海潮，或是你有那个某湖 ，right mushrooms， 或是你也可以有肉，熟成的肉跟烤的肉有不一样的味道，对不对？那个味道，那个分别算是咸味。That's going to be umami. Never umami. Okay, cool. All right, so now we've tried all of these. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put them all together. So I want you guys to take that spray, number 1 and number 4. So go ahead and take that spray again. And we're going to do this in order. You're going to go 1 spray of number 4, 1 spray of number 1, 1 drop of number 1, and 1 drop of number 2. So you're just going to do it like a tequila shot. You guys don't know what this is, you'll learn in like 30 years. So what you need to do is you just sniff it and then lick it. On your hand or on? So first you spray on the paper towel and you lick it off your hand, okay? So if it drips, it goes on your hand. If it sprays, it goes on the paper. 要是你可以喷，你要放在卫生纸；要是你可以放一滴，你可以放在你的手上。所以你可以先给我们Can you show us? Yeah, sure. Yeah, the order is as long as you got the sprays. Sprays and then the sips. Okay, so let's see here. Actually, hey, you sip. We'll use this. I can't have 4 hands. And they're like, I got like this. So we have my wonderful assistant here. Sorry, what is your name? Sal. Nice to meet you. Okay, so what you're going to do is first you can spray onto the paper towel, right? So spray once with number 1. We're using 1 and 4. 1 and 4. 1 and 4 for the spritz. 1 and 2 for the... Same ones you used before. 1 to 5 was easy. Next time, take it. Okay, so 1 spray. Slate number 4. 1 spray. 1号1喷，4号1喷。Alright. So you're going to sniff that. And then you're going to take the drips. So you're going to go 1 and 2, right? 1喷，这是1滴的1号，1滴的2号。And lick it. And this is a full cocktail. Yeah.
The drips go together, right? So you smell
Okay, so between smelling and tasting, you guys had 2 totally different experiences, right? They should have been 2 totally different experiences, vastly different from each other. So one of them is going to be fruity. It's going to be, it's going to have a little bit of lime to it, right? That's the smell. And then when you taste it, so this is xianwei, right? It's going to have a little bit of sweet, a little bit of umami. And that last bit is matcha green tea. So green tea is one of the most umami heavy, it's one of the most umami heavy compounds out there, right? Between tomato and... Alright, so you guys have tested these cocktails. Right? So we've had this cocktail experience. Okay, now comes the question, well, exactly how is taste affecting you? Well, the first thing is going to be sweet. When you work with sweet, there's 3 kinds of sweet, right? You're going to have a fruity sweet, fructose. You're going to have something that's going to be like a table sugar sweet, sucrose. And you're going to have just generic sugars, which are glucose. And then you're going to move on to your sours. And these are all going to be acids. It can be acid phosphate if you're looking at something that's going to be a diluted phosphoric acid. So when you think of lemon, that swan is coming from that, the sour is coming from that phosphoric acid. When you look at bitters, bittering agents, in terms of human biology, are things that we probably shouldn't eat. No, really.
when you think about how early humans survived, if it was bitter and if it smelled bad, stay away, right? I mean, kids do the same thing. You want to give someone broccoli, good luck, right? But it's not going to kill you. But back in the day, they could have said it would kill you. So now we have umami. Now, umami is interesting. Umami comes from quite a few different types of different flavor. And this is going to come from glutamate, right? So who's heard of MSG? Woo! Yeah. All right. Who knows what it stands for? Monosodium glutamate. All right. That is a natural flavor. MSG, if anyone tells you it's synthetic, they have not taken any science classes. MSG is totally natural, right? You have MSG in mushrooms, MSG in tomatoes, apples. You're going to be looking at anything with high tannins are going to have MSG in it. Okay? The same thing with grapeseed. MSG is what makes your tongue get a little bit wet when you eat kombu or if you're eating bonito, so the fish flakes. That's what's going to make your tongue a little bit wet, and that's umami, right? And the last one is salty. Now, salty, we can all guess what that is. That's going to be sodium, right? So I didn't think all of you know what salt tastes like? Okay, cool. All right, so the rest of this experiment is going to be, I want you guys just to try it. Just spray a few of the other numbers onto your paper towel. Try and drip a few onto your hand. And each of these have a different category. So numbers 2 and 3 are going to be, of the drips, are going to be something umami. Now, if you guys are very brave, try dripping number 5. If you guys don't really want to be that brave, don't do number 5. You're not gonna model, skip number 5.
Everyone immediately goes to number 5, right? Okay. Yeah, let's go. There you go. There's I wasn't shy.
Just selling down it's like a spicy Oh, hey, that's spicy.
Okay, so here's, I'm going to start from the sprays and I'm going to tell you guys what them all are, okay? Alright, so number 1 on the spray, this one is going to be a lime and mint rapid infusion. Okay, so this is lime oil. It's actually not lime juice, it's lime peel that I use nitrogen in order to expand all these flavors out. Okay, so we use nitrogen to do these rapid infusions. The second one is going to be lemongrass. Okay, now this is designed to trick you. The difference between citrus and something that is vegetal with citrus in it, right? The difference between smelling citrus and smelling a citrus, let's say lemongrass, right? It's a citrus grass. Is that when you sniff it, right? It's very hard to tell the difference. There's only one citrus in the world where everyone can look at it and say, I know what that is. Who can guess what it is? Orange, not quite.
Lemon.
Lemon. Who's used Pledge? Who's cleaned their house with some sort of lemon fruity thing? That's because citrus, when you think about your nose, the easiest one to define is going to be lemon. Limes change from country to country. Lemons always seem to have the same general profile. Right? So the third one, let's see here, the third one is going to be agricole rum. Agricole rum comes from Martinique and it's made out of ganja. It's made out of sugar cane. So if you can smell sugar cane off of that, you're very, very close. It is just sugar cane juice that's turned into liquor. Number 4 is going to be strawberry tequila. That's what we're making the strawberry margaritas with. And number 5 is going to be a woody scotch, Oban 14. So that's where you're going to taste those. You're going to smell those fruits and that wood. Right? Now for the drippers, number 1 is going to be stevia. Yeah. You can go for it, man. 10 milliliters. A third of a shot right there. So the drippers, you have stevia is number 1. This is that super sweet leaf. Number 2 is going to be matcha, umami. Number 3 is going to be shiitake mushroom, also very umami. Number 4 is bitter, very, very bitter, Fernet Branc. So this is a very common Italian. And the very, very last one is Indian dried chili. I wasn't sure if you guys would actually taste it, but props to you guys. So. All right. Other than that, we've already covered what emphasis between flavor and taste for your nose or now. You guys have any questions? And then, if you guys want to stay with the feedback or